Hello, everyone. Happy holidays, and welcome to another episode of the Hot Combs and Popcorn Podcast. For those who don't know, my name is Danielle.
My name's Brianna.
My name is Bobby.
And one of the things that we love to do here on this series is review movies and Black culture that we should have seen by now, but we just haven't yet. We're playing catch up. And at the end, after we discuss our thoughts and our feelings as Zillennials, we give a rating from 1 to 5 hot cones. And today, in the holiday spirit, we are reviewing Black Nativity. It is written and directed by Kazi Lemons, and it is based off of the 1961 play by Langston Hughes. And it is starring a very star-studded cast. We have Forrest Whitaker, we got Angela Bassett, we got Jennifer Hudson, Jacob Lattimore, Tyrese Gibson, Mary J. Blige, Nasir Jones, aka Nas, Luke James, Grace Gibson, and Vondi Curtis Hall. So, Black Nativity had a release date of November 27th, 2013. It was rated PG and it had a runtime of a smooth 1 hour and 33 minutes. So, a quick little synopsis: it follows Langston, a Baltimore teen who is raised by a single mother, and he is traveling to New York City to spend time the Christmas holiday with his estranged grandparents, the Reverend Cornell Cobbs, and his wife, Aretha. However, Langston finds that Cobbs has some strict rules and he's not really feeling it. He doesn't want to follow them. And so instead, he sets out to return on a journey to return to his mother, and he finds the value of faith, healing, and family along the way. A nice little holiday movie for you. So, ladies, what do we think about Black Nativity? What are our initial thoughts? Yeah,
Um, you
yeah,
know,
Hmm.
yeah.
so I feel like me talking makes it sound like it's gonna be really bad. That's actually not what I'm about to say. I didn't know if I'd get through it. And be honest, didn't know if I'd get through it. I was like, this is mm, this is why Hamilton is remarkable, and others who have tried have failed. I thought it was gonna be an opera at first. I was like, oh please, please don't be an opera.
Oh.
Um, But yeah, operas like when they sing everything. That's why Hamilton is amazing. It's very black. It was giving very black people, star-studded. They were like, who can we have an unlimited budget for cast and a very small budget for location. Who can we spend on? And I said, go crazy. And you know what? Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all of the money went to the cast and where else, I will say my very first note is, wait, this is a musical? I just wasn't prepared, and
Can I just say my first note also was I knew this was a musical, but all capitals. I was like, I knew this was a musical,
like
but is this a music video? Like what's
like I, and that's the thing. At the very first, in the beginning, I was like, okay, maybe it is a music video. Maybe it's not a musical because like the way that it was shot. So I'm thinking it's set in the scene. No, I guess it's
some cut it's
musical.
you know?
And
Yeah.
whatever, musical, never hurt nobody. But I do have thoughts about the songs specifically. And that's about it. So I'm gonna just like
Okay,
I'm gonna
that's
put
fair.
there.
I also forgot to mention this was produced by TD Jakes, and if you have seen other TD
Uh,
Jakes movies, this makes a lot
Oh, well, that
well,
makes
of
like
course.
all of this
Yeah.
that checks out.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
okay. Two
That's
plus
what
two is four.
that's why
Yeah,
it's like that. Okay.
I just
got
wanted
it.
to throw
Okay.
that in there because
Good
Yeah,
to
when
know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that, it made a lot more sense to me.
Because it was
It
very much
does.
Good Morning Saints. Like,
It does.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. They got the right
I
Okay.
person.
it so there was so much going on. There's also so little going on. So I'm just I okay, okay. Like you said, the budget went almost completely to the cast because honestly, there was really no reason to have that many like star-studded stars in this movie when the plot was just it was what are we doing? Where are we going? How did we end up here? Those were the questions on my mind for most of this movie. Um, Another part that I wrote down, Jennifer Hudson is never dodging the loud accusations.
You know,
I'm
Jennifer
trying
lets
to,
you
do I
down.
want this? Do I want this on camera coming from me? I don't know, but I'm gonna say it. Um, we love Jennifer. We
Love
love
Love.
her.
Jennifer.
Love.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer's a screamer. She's a screamer,
Mm.
and we love Jennifer. Okay, we
Love.
listen to
Love.
Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, she is from the church background, I'm assuming, and she sings very church-esque. And I don't necessarily feel like that's needed in every single song. That is why, for instance, the Jennifer Holiday version of "And I'm Telling You" is my favorite version. I
Mm.
understand Jennifer did play Effie real good in the remake, but I don't a lot of theatrics happening. And then I saw this came out in 2013, and I was thinking about how um I feel like, and I could be making this up, which I'm sure if somebody from one of my high schools, King, watches this, I feel like either Diggy Simmons or Jacob Lattimore came to our school. And I don't really remember which
Oh,
one, but
what the?
I was
Wait,
That is so funny.
wait. Because
we were a very black school. Okay, we were black.
Of
We were
course,
black.
Diggy Simmons went to your school.
No, he didn't go to my school. He
No, like,
went to school. Yeah, yeah. I feel like I feel like in some way, or I feel like I was in the presence of Jacob Lattimore before he was in The Shy. I don't really know how I was, but I feel like I was. And I feel like this movie came when his career was really first taking off. And I was
mhm.
like, dang. And in my head, he could have not went to King, but in my head, I was like, he went from visiting us in the school gym at King to making this movie. How life has changed. How life has
Right.
changed.
Well, I just looked
Cause
it up. He's from Wisconsin, so maybe he did pop in. Maybe
I
like,
Wisconsin.
mean, but it's like the person was coming as their performance. Like they were doing a high school run of sorts. But you can never make me hate Lou James. You'll never make me hate him. I have a crush on that man. I love him
mhm.
down.
Yeah.
I seen him in person. He's on the list. He's on
Nope.
the list. Love that man. And I was so happy to see him in this movie. I wish he had more screen time, personally. Didn't really understand I'm not gonna get too much in my low light bag, so I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go into the highlights because I feel like I always start with lowlights, and for me, I think the lowlights might outweigh the highlights on this one. So yeah, what do we like about this movie?
I will say
Mm,
the vocal tones, the vocal performance, like the way that the singer sounded, I enjoyed. But the songs themselves, I'm gonna put in the low light category. However, the singers were singing.
mhm.
Tyrese, when he had his solo song, I was like, okay, fine. I forgot that you were a singer before an actor. So, okay. That was good. Langston was very dumb, I will say. He was dumb, but
Okay,
I'm gonna say it was a
okay,
highlight because these seemed like
right.
realistic 15-year-old decisions, and that's why he was dumb.
I did write down. Imagine telling someone you in jail for giving somebody they wallet back. That's the biggest L that one could take. He should just stole that shit at this point. I mean,
You could have just
unfortunate.
left it there too. Like you did not need to
He
pick
could
up.
have just left it there. I feel like the movie didn't really start until they got into New York. A side note, I wanted to ask the resident New Yorker of this. How did that scene, how did you feel watching that scene that little boy stole his book bag? Like, was it given New York?
That
Because
was
I feel
stressful.
like
I wrote down, how you gonna let a little kid steal your book bag like that? Because
I definitely was like, you wasn't holding on to it tight enough for
you
me.
weren't.
Not at all.
Because when I tell you I'll be on the train, I'm clutching my purse. Okay. Nobody's stealing my stuff. That's first of all. Mind you, okay, I know I said I wasn't gonna get into the low lights, but the bus is not gonna let you off right in front of Times Square. That's not
Thought that was
happening.
interesting. Thought that was interesting. I said, oh, maybe they
Why
did things different in 2015. I don't know.
the
That was
Peter Pan?
pre-COVID.
The Peter Pan is not driving up to the steps of Times Square. Where are we? What are we doing?
Be honest, I don't even know what the Peter Pan is. So I would have
Oh,
no idea of
it's
what the
a
Peter Pan is.
bus.
Yes.
I'm
Large.
assuming it's like Greyhound.
Yes.
Right.
As
Megabus, Town, Peter Pan.
it's
Mm-hmm.
the North Greyhound, if you will. Yeah, I thought that was funny. I thought that was
Mm-hmm.
funny they came to get him and then
I'm
he
just
was
confused. Cause like you're from Baltimore, like you know how to act outside. I mean, I would assume you know how to like keep your stuff to yourself.
or he was too busy making music videos. So no, he didn't.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh, I had a question though, because the okay. So he had a cell phone, right? He had his little Samsung. Okay.
Oh, right.
He was
2013.
on the phone doing whatever with it. The little kid steals his book bag. He never put his phone in his book bag, to my knowledge. So why didn't you use your phone to call your grandparents?
It was dead.
Why is your phone dead?
Does he have their number?
He had she wrote it down.
His phone was because when he took it out, he was taking it out to call them and it died. Like it wasn't on.
Uh,
Now, I don't know what type of phone he had in 2013. They was making that switch to iPhone at that point. From my understanding, like BlackBerry, Samsung phones back in the day had a good charge, removable
Mm,
battery. So
mm,
I really don't understand. I feel like I was not really watching it seriously until they got to Angela Bassett's house. I'll be honest.
mhm.
Kind of zoned out. I was like, okay, hey, we're just gonna sing through this movie, and we love Nas, but why is Nas here? Nobody knows. He also showed up at the end. We don't know what's happening. I was like, is the whole bus gonna start singing? Is this gonna be a JG Wentworth commercial, which is my commercial I hate the most? I was just like spinning. I was like, it's the whole this. I hate that commercial.
It's Seven
I was
Seven
like,
High Show.
the whole bus gonna start singing at this point. Everybody's singing.
and I was like, I sat there. Okay, we are not in highlights, by the way. We're just in rotation
Yeah,
at this point.
that was
We just
separate.
bouncing. I do have highlights, but like since we talking about it,
We might as well just keep. We just gonna do whatever. It's fine. We don't need a structure. But
no.
when Nas popped up, I was like, "No, Nas, what you doing here? What
Over here.
what you doing here?" And then he's just started talking, and I was like, "Oh, we're in a song. We're starting a song."
Okay, we just got out of a song. Got out of
I was like, "We're
three.
doing a little too much." But I will also say the Baltimore scene where he was mad at his mom, I was like, you little ungrateful, rude boy.
Mhm.
Why are you talking to your mom like that? Like, and I get it. You upset that you go into some people you don't know's house for Christmas. That's one thing. But you talking about why didn't you tell me that rent was the she is a grown woman. You are a child. What are you talking about? Like, let her, she's trying her best, and you yelling at her. Why? And then Jennifer Hudson screaming at the bus.
Jennifer, Jen.
I think specifically when that happened and she walked up to the bus, I wrote down unserious. I was like, this movie is
Yeah.
unserious. We just gonna pretend. And I really the first like 10 minutes of the movie, I had to look up the play because I was like, now what is going on here? I was like, you can't tell me Langston wrote this. I've come to the conclusion that the church scene is more traditionally based on Langston's play rather than like the entire movie as a whole. like that scene of the drums and all that. But I was just like,
Somehow I feel like the play is better. I just know it
I
is.
don't know.
It's got to be.
well, I mean, I feel like we see this sometimes. And I do feel like I could see how this would be a classic. I could see like if you liked musicals and if you liked the sound of like Black musicians and stuff, I could see how this would become like a little cute household holiday movie. The same way, which I don't really remember that much of this Christmas, but the same way they were singing Up in Air, I'm sure people love this. The same way, if they really enjoy that type of atmosphere. But sometimes this Hollywood suffers from this thing of like not great script, amazing cast. And I feel
Mhm.
like that is what this was. Like the plot, if you take all of the people that are famous out of this, which is the entire cast, and replace them with people that you didn't know, you'd be like, you would just think this is like a short film. Like you would think this
Mhm.
is a
What was the point? What was the point? What was it? The fact we so much happened, Danielle, like you said, and yet nothing at the same time. Like first, first he in jail, then his grandfather's talking about MLK. Then he goes to the pawn shop. Then he goes back home. Then he goes to church, falls
I
asleep.
do want to say that jeweler ate though. That jeweler did
Ate.
eat.
Because
He
that
ate.
scene had me on the edge of my
I
seat. I'm not even gonna lie. I couldn't even
Mhm.
look.
mm-hmm.
I
I
looked
was like,
away.
this is what he needs. Somebody to get up in that ass.
I'm like, get his
Okay.
ass. Like, who the fuck? Bitch, like, how dare you? And I know a 15-year-old has enough sense, I would hope,
Mm-hmm.
to know the weight of MLK and the fact that you don't mess with that. Like he, as soon as it was so frustrating. Night one, you're sneaking into this man's personal belongings, taking it. As soon as he did that, I was like, okay, this is gonna end badly. Let me just look away because I can't even stomach the idea of taking that shit to the pawn shop. Like, oh my God, I was about to throw up. But yeah, the guy working there, he did what he had to do, and thank God, because there's no way that the film could have gone in the direction that I thought that it was gonna go in, where he was
Yeah.
actually gonna pawn that shit. Like, oh, I would have been pissed.
But that scene where he was stealing the stuff too annoyed me because I'm like, you took not only did you take the little pocket watch, you took a picture, and then you took $40, and then you gave the $40 away. That was not your $40 to give away. Like,
As if that's supposed to be a redeeming quality. And then the grandfather, Forrest Whitaker, in the window looking down like he knows that was his $40 and feeling
Oh,
proud of him.
when did
like
he get $40?
he stole it.
I no, I was like, when did he give it away? But okay, let's
Um,
talk about that because I think that's when I said, LMAO, I'm not gonna make it through this movie.
You know, like,
When they were all out on the street singing and
man,
now Jennifer Hudson is there, I was like, guys,
oh my God.
not translating well on screen. Like this is
Because,
giving very much play and it's not translating well right now.
yeah,
So
oh,
like, bro,
I
why?
was very much like, I understand where they were going. Like, I get it. This is a dream, whatever. But I was like, Jennifer, why are you here? Like, you walked in from Baltimore and you just
Was it
don't,
a dream though? Because
it
he
was a
gave them the
dream.
money during the same one, did he not?
Okay, so he did that, but then he went back inside and he was like changing whatever. She gave him stuff. She's like, I'll wash your clothes. He put her picture under the pillow and then he like went to bed. And so this was a dream.
wait.
I know.
I'm it,
No, I,
is this towards the end or the middle?
No,
no, no.
this is right after he stole the stuff. So he put the stuff
Because
under the pillow.
I did
in
fall
my
asleep a little
brain,
bit.
it went Forrest Whitaker was like, give them the money. He went outside and gave them the money, and then everybody just started singing. That's what
No,
I.
That's what I
no,
thought.
okay. Because
But
remember,
then I remember him waking up because Jennifer
right,
Hudson touched his face, but I never
right.
saw him go to sleep.
Okay, I remember that part.
That's why it was a dream because she touched his face to wake him up and he woke up like, oh.
Wait, so what
Did
you're
they
telling
not establish this was a dream?
I'm so confused.
When
Y'all,
was this supposed to be a dream?
So
the
did he
whole
steal the money?
he stole the money, he
Okay.
gave it to the people, and he came
Oh,
back inside. He went
yeah.
upstairs. talked to Angela Bassett. She gave him some clothes, said she would
I
wash his
remember
clothes.
that. I
And
remember
then
that.
he put the pocket watch and the picture of his mom under the pillow. He
Yes.
goes to sleep. And that's when the
That's
scene
how we got
singing
to the
starts.
pillow.
Okay.
I
Oh,
was like,
so
that's
maybe
a
I
weird
didn't
place
miss
to hide
that.
that.
Maybe I
I tell you, when I tell you, I zoned out. And you know what it really reminded me of? Should I tell this story?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm gonna I'm just not gonna say what the movie was. This reminded me of when I was watching this movie on Netflix. It was a Christmas movie, and I was super excited to watch it. I also was high, and I didn't realize it was a musical. And my brain was like, no. My brain was
Black
out.
movie.
I am not saying the movie,
I know
but
exactly what you're talking about. Go
nothing
ahead.
wrong with the movie. It's just that I didn't know I was going into such movie. And then it also had some other it had some other effects in it. It had some other effects in it. And I was like, I'm too high for this. And then I just didn't watch it. And that's how I felt watching this sober. Like, I'm too high for this right now. Like, this is just a whole bunch of people who was big popping during that time in this movie.
And
No, no,
that's
no.
why I was so shocked at the fact that it was a musical at the beginning. I was like, oh, fuck.
And that's how I felt with the other one. I was like, this is a musical musical? Like, I know a song was supposed to be sang or two, but like I would have thought it would at least would have been naturally added into the, like if he's sitting in his, how he's sitting in his room and maybe he starts singing to himself. Okay. The bus stop? No.
Yeah.
I feel like a
Interacting?
motherless child.
Putting her
I
hand
don't
on the
like
window. Right?
interacting and singing. Mm-mm.
Can
I don't
we?
like that. Not in a movie
I'm just.
format. It doesn't translate well.
I will say they got some good singers for this movie. However, I
Angela?
don't think that everyone's acting translated.
I knew it.
I knew it, Bree.
You don't say the name of the movie.
We're not saying it.
Say
We're
the
not
name of
saying
the
it.
movie.
We're not. Sorry.
Say the name
Well,
of the movie.
I literally just texted the same thing. I was like, it's that movie. Anyways,
That was I think it was a good movie if I wasn't high. I don't think I would feel the same way this because I was sober. I think the other
right.
movie was a great, like, you knew what you were going into. You'd be like, Merry
Yeah.
Christmas. Other one, this was as you were saying, some people were here to sing and some people were here to act.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it showed very strongly who was here to do what.
Yep.
Because
I
some people's singing abilities were not great. And I'm not going to name no names because
I
I
will.
not do. Oh, okay, fine. Say it.
Angela, sweetie,
Yeah, babe.
you know we love you, girl.
We love you down.
You
okay,
know, if you've heard any of our past episodes with you
hold
in
on.
it.
I gotta step in for her. I gotta be her
Okay, go
attorney
ahead.
right now.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It would have been fine if they didn't add Jennifer Hudson in. Okay. There are a lot of people. No, 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 no. I'm not saying because it was Jennifer Hudson. It would have been fine if they did not add, okay, we'll take Jennifer Hudson's name out of it then, since y'all think I'm
Okay.
coming for Jennifer.
No,
If
because
they had
no,
not
I don't think you
professional
are.
singer,
I
if
know
they had not
exactly.
professional singer in it with her, she
Yeah.
could have gotten
Mhm.
away. Because
Yeah,
we
she could
see
have.
that all the time. There are plenty of people who are actors who cannot traditionally sing. Melissa McCarthy can't traditionally sing, but she killed playing Ursula because they sang it in her tone and everything.
Yes,
I
Mhm.
Michelle
think
Yeoh, Wicked.
exactly. I think if they just left Angela singing to herself and maybe even have Jacob Lattimore come in and sing a little bit, I
Mhm.
think it would have translated a lot better. But to have Jennifer Hudson pop up and start screaming is not gonna work when Angela Bassett's voice is so, demure, very mindful, very church lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very first lady of her.
Together because Jennifer drowned out her. She completely drowned her out. So by the time you hear her voice again, you're like, "Whoa, that was rough." You can't put an actor who is not a traditional singer up against a person who is a singer who was on American
Yeah.
Idol. It don't
Yeah.
work.
Literally, EGOT. Well, at the time
literally
he
like
wasn't, but still.
I honestly, I feel like I really do not feel like I don't feel like Angela Bassett singing was that bad. I think them putting her up against someone who's an actual professional singer is what made the scene seem like, oh, but like she's
Yeah.
a church lady. We know plenty of Black women who go to church who sing to themselves, can't hit all the notes, but they singing for the Lord.
Might be
I think if
there.
they had that, I feel like, and this is just put my hands up. I feel like once he went to Baltimore, Jennifer Hudson shouldn't have been in the movie. And then when she came back to Baltimore, Jennifer Hudson could have been in the movie. But I feel like going back and forth is a little pointless
Yeah.
because we know
I
she's sad.
I honestly think because there was maybe what two songs that Jennifer was not in. I don't know if it was because she was like the main singer of the whole cast that they were like, you're gonna sing down, like you're gonna sing for most of this movie.
Mhm.
That was not needed, in my opinion. Like they did not need to have her in the song where they were in the street. I don't think that was needed because honestly, she kind of scared me a little bit. I was listening to
I
it
was
and it
scared.
popped
I
up
was
on
like, she in New York? Like, how'd she get to
I'm
New
afraid of
York?
her. Like it's like you were saying, they could have paired it, Jacob Latimore with Angela Bassett. Like we needed some soft voices here and there. The girl who played Maria, I liked her voice. I liked her voice with Luke James.
They were good.
They were good.
Perfect.
Okay. It was just a little bit too much at all times. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't working for me because they didn't pair the voices well for all of it.
I just don't think, I think it was very obvious they brought singers in to sing. And I feel like the integrity of the plot was kind of like pushed to the back end. I feel like traditionally movies, you wouldn't see Jennifer Hudson's character again unless they had the phone call or she came back. But for her to keep popping up and stuff to sing doesn't make sense because it's messing with the reality of the movie. Like, is she supposed to be here? Is she not supposed to be here? And it's not adding anything to the plot. It's literally just adding sound to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not adding anything. I don't really need to know what she's doing in Baltimore. I don't personally care because you set this movie up to be about Jacob Lattimore and what he's doing. So I'm interested in what he's doing. And you brought Tyrese's character into it, who I knew was his father off the bat, but that's a whole nother situation. The movie was focused on Jacob Lattimore. So her, Mary J. Blige, Nas, and honestly, sort of kind of Luke James and the other girl, they kind of like none of that really had anything to do with the plot. And I hate to say that because I love Luke James and I feel like honestly he should have been in this movie. Like Luke James can act down. I
Mm-hmm.
wish that he and that girl was used way more in this movie. I don't know why Mary J. Blige was there. I was like, I hope she's gonna sing for her to be bumping into him in the. It was just like, how much
Uh,
money do we have actors who can we get into this black movie all together and sing some? And they weren't even singing Christmas songs. That's the craziest part. Like
Sing Silent Night.
the songs weren't even good. They weren't even good.
Oh,
the
I'm,
ones that are not traditional, yeah, like the ones that are clearly made for the movie, it's
I'm
not
like,
giving.
where are the bops? Where there not one single bop. I mean, no, there was one towards the end where the beat was like, it
I
was
mean,
better.
all of the ones in the church was hitting.
Yeah,
yeah.
They
the
were
church
doing
was
the
great,
black. It
but
was a
damn,
great.
every other song was just like, okay, we
Um,
can wrap it up. And I never
like
thought,
I get it. I
I get
get
it.
it.
And I will say most musicals that I've seen, I've liked the music for the
Mm-hmm.
most part. There might be a couple maybe, but like this is one that's gonna stick out in my brain of a musical that the music just did not slap. It,
I don't know what it was. Like even I think Mary J. Blige did have one song, right?
yeah,
Again,
you sang.
dream sequence, which I
I was
also kind of blacked out on, to be honest. Um,
I fell asleep, but I think I woke up. Because I remember hearing her voice, Mary J, and I said, "Oh, okay. Let me come to attention."
and
I love
I'm just
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I'm just gonna be Luke James' attorney as well because I just simply don't like how much him and the girl weren't in the movie for them to be the ones to consider Jesus and Mary or Joseph and Mary.
It's called Black Nativity. Can we get back to that? I thought that this
Okay,
was
where's the
supposed.
nativity?
That's what the
Where's
fuck. Like,
the holiday?
Wait,
Okay.
wait. Also, why is everything of note happening when this man is dreaming, when he's asleep? Because the Black Nativity scene was when he was asleep in church. So I'm like, what are we?
Which is not realistic. They would have woke his ass up
that's
immediately.
what
Okay.
I was thinking that
Immediately.
too. Like,
He's
why
in
was
the
he
front
asleep?
row. The front row, and you're asleep.
And your
You
grandfather's the pastor, you're tripping. You're tripping. And you know that that would never happen. Because my ass, not related to the pastor, if I ever fell asleep in church, immediately I'm getting whacked. Immediately. Like there's no way. I don't understand.
question. Oh, maybe I should add more. I just typed in Rome and I didn't really consider the fact this man had a last name. Wasn't that the dude who played the security guard?
Who?
Rotini.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Rotino,
Him.
him.
Roti-
Him. Yeah,
Correct.
okay.
because
Mhm.
I first of all, first,
Rotini.
yeah,
Yes.
the church scene
Mhm.
was the most interesting scene. Okay, I'm sorry. The church scene leading into the second pawn shop scene, leading back into the church scene, was the
Okay.
most interesting part of the movie.
Now the pawn shop scene, that second one, now that was good directing. Now that
Yeah.
ate down. Now that's
Mm-hmm.
a highlight. Because I was like, no,
Yeah.
that ate real bad. He gave him a gun with no bullets in it just so he can get his. I said, okay, that ate
Mhm.
down real bad, and I
That was
really
good.
enjoyed that. That made sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like this movie. I feel like this movie just had I don't want to say stress, but had drama for no reason. I feel like this movie just had drama for no reason. But Forrest Whitaker to have paid him to go away just so he can get like, what are we talking about?
Let's get
What
into
are we
that.
doing?
Can we break that down?
Like,
Let's talk about
I
it.
was
Go
like, can
ahead,
we
Bobby.
talk more about the fact that the pastor did this? Can we bring it back around to the man of God doing something like this? Can we?
Also,
Also,
why are we talking about this in front of the entire congregation?
in front of God and everybody. In front of God and everybody.
God and everybody, Mary and Joseph.
We don't care about privacy, protecting the peace just a little bit. And listen, I know like if we want to bring it into the 2024 context, like yes, certain things need to be aired out. People need to take accountability. People need to pay for whatever. But I do feel like this is a family matter, and there is literally no reason whatsoever the entire congregation needed to be when he. I just want to scream because it pissed me off so bad. That is so unrealistic. That literally would never happen.
I was waiting for them to be like, okay, church is over, everybody leave. Like I was waiting, and then they just kept going. He was like, I gave him $5,000. I was like, wait a minute,
Okay, I have a question.
what's
I have a real life question. Why was Jennifer Hudson's character in New York?
because he called. So Langston called his mom and was like, if you, what did he say? Basically, like, if you care about me or something like that, you'll come and get me, type of thing. And so she got on the bus with all her little stuff, and she pulled up, and she was like, I'm gonna go work this out for my child. So where
No,
she got, the,
he made her do that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why did she come there if she wasn't? Was she just gonna steal him back? I'm confused.
I
Like,
guess,
she came on Christmas. You know your dad is a pastor. You know he at church. You know likely your son is at church.
right.
I mean, well, he was in a pawn shop, but you know where he would have been. Like, how did you think that was gonna work out? You weren't gonna be able to come into their church and not speak to them.
Also, while we're here on
Mm-hmm.
this church scene, tying it back into the whole $5,000 thing, you really expect me to believe that she forgave them after like one conversation?
I That pissed me off I'm not even gonna hold you.
Like real bad.
Because everybody was like, first of all, they were ganging up on her, talking about you need to forgive him, you need to do this. I was like, my girl, she has a right to be upset. And you telling me this is the first conversation we have in front of the entire congregation, and you're saying that I need to forgive all of y'all? Like, no. Also, I'm confused because when Langston was first asking Aretha, first of all, why is her name Aretha? But I'm not gonna get into that.
I'm gonna chalk
Second,
it up to TD Jakes. I don't know.
why did she say, "Oh, we're the heartbroken type of parents and stuff," when y'all the ones that made all of this happen? You literally bribed a 15, 16-year-old kid that got your daughter pregnant, gave him $5,000, and she ran away. What am I missing? Like, how are you heartbroken when you caused your own heartbreak?
Right, talking about
That's black parents.
he
That's
could have
black
called
parents.
anytime, like trying to blame it on her, like,
Like, huh?
huh?
It's giving black church. It's giving you're a disgrace because you got pregnant out of wedlock.
Like, of course you don't want to take your money. I get it. I
Oh,
mean, at a certain point, maybe take the money. I don't know, maybe.
Mhm.
But I
But
understand. I wouldn't want your little measly $5,000 because you can give my baby daddy $5,000 to tell me goodbye. Like,
pretty
and
much
also,
that. You had the money. You
and on
had the
top of
money to do
all
some
that,
fabulous things.
why
Uh,
wouldn't you want your grandson's father in his life? On
right.
top of that,
This movie had a lot of things that didn't really make sense to me. One of them being how, if you saw when they first started the church scene, right? There was a sign saying, "Help us fix our roof," and they're raising money, right? The
mhm.
pastor is living in a brownstone on 125th Street in Harlem.
mm,
He has a Mercedes Benz.
mm.
What that mean? What that mean? He said he served the Lord, not taxes. Okay. He said he served the Lord, not the bill collectors. He said the Lord gave me this money, but we as a congregation
We
are
gotta fix.
making church.
What
Mm-hmm.
do I?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the house. I was like, where in the world? First of all, in Harlem, are you living that you have that
Mm-hmm.
big of a brownstone? I was trying to look at the street. I was like, now what avenue is this? Because I've been on 125th Street.
Do you
Where
think it was a set or do you think it was really like in New York somewhere, but not in Harlem?
It
I
was in
think
Atlanta.
obviously when they were driving through, that was Harlem. But when they pulled up to those houses, I was like, that
Not
doesn't
Harlem.
Harlem to me.
Wow. So now they're liars.
Well, most of us are. Most
You
most of
know,
us in the
So
film.
movie magic.
they had a budget.
I feel like it was probably filmed in Atlanta because I feel like everything is filmed in Atlanta.
Let me do some.
Yeah, I was about to
Also,
be like,
fun fact.
I want to know what the
So I
budget
I don't know if he has a I don't know why he has a name on the cast list, but I think the little boy who stole the backpack, that was the jeweler's son in real life.
Oh,
Oh,
Like,
come on, nepotism.
I
okay.
know it was very cute, but his name was Snoopy, and I was like, when did they say this boy's name for him to have a name? I don't.
Yeah,
Why does he have a name? I
they were
know
like,
that gives you
put something on the bill. So this
girl,
movie, the budget was $17.5 million,
and I
and
would
they
say about 15 of that went to the actors.
1,000%. What do y'all think the box office was?
I'm actually looking at it right now, Wikipedia.
I
I'm
think,
looking at
wait, let
it.
me guess. I think the box office, this came out in 2013. It
Mm-hmm.
was 17, you said?
Yeah,
I think
17.5.
the box office was a smooth 10 million, maybe less.
It's less.
7.5.
Yep.
Seven.
They didn't even
And the
make it
only
to.
reason why I say that is because I've never heard this movie.
Yeah, that we would have heard about it.
I heard about it because my mom had it on DVD,
Oh,
and I started watching the first 5 minutes, and I was like, I don't think this is for me, and I left, and I never returned to it until yesterday. So
a black mom
Well,
owning this on DVD makes sense. This makes sense.
You know,
Yeah,
it's giving like that movie that's on sale at Walmart, that's in that big
right.
tub, a movie that's on sale at
Yes.
Walmart.
Hey, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure it did make less because this is a passion project. You don't even have to tell me. I know majority of these actors were in this because it was a passion project. You don't even have to tell me that. I'm sure they knew from the beginning walking into this movie was not going to be a hit. And they said, but we love the idea of it. We must watch it. We must do it. And that's how we got here. Oh, that's so funny. So I'm on the page for the
Yeah.
IMDb page for it, and I clicked the official site link, and it took me to Disney Plus, and it's not even on Disney Plus.
Wow.
Cute. I will
Very,
say,
very.
I thought,
This is so hard to find for free.
Well, Angela Bassett won an NAACP award for this. Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture. That's the only award and only
You know
nomination
what?
she has.
However she gets it is how she
Take it.
got it, and
period.
I will
that's what
never,
Well,
never take that from Queen Angela.
no,
not
you go.
Angela.
No.
Oh.
I feel like they towards the end of the movie started getting tight for money because you can tell that it was very rushed. It seemed kind of sloppily put together. There was a point that I was like, oh, the movie's over, right? Title card
Mm.
came up, and then another scene was happening and a song. And I was like, why did the title card come up if y'all had more to do? Why are we singing
They start
Ass
singing always
by Stevie Wonder?
or ads. They
That
started
was
singing
so
ads, and
funny.
you know,
Why are we singing Stevie
I
Wonder?
actually that was
I
my
rated
favorite part.
4. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 8.
You can't go wrong with Stevie Wonder. So I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, they
I'm here
cleared
for
that,
it.
and they were gonna use it. They cleared
Yeah,
that song, and they were gonna use it.
Okay,
yeah.
because a solid 5 million of the budget could have been for that.
Honestly,
If we're
You
being
know,
because
I can see.
if we're really thinking about it, if you know the lyrics to Ass by Stevie Wonder, it has nothing to do with the
nope.
movie that we were listening to. They could have gone and got any Christmas song. Instead, they
Bruh.
said, let's get Ass by Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
Any
this was
gospel
not good.
song. Because like it wasn't very Christmassy. I mean, there was a Christmas tree in the background and multiple
It
scenes,
was
but like
winter. It
it was
was
It's
winter.
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 And also, once again, why is this not a nativity story? I was really excited. I was like, okay, let me settle in for this period piece that I'm
Because
about to receive.
controversial opinion, Luke James and Gracie should have been the main characters.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
It should have been a modern day nativity,
Oh, that
okay,
would have
but
been fun.
black.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unless they're saying, right, which doesn't really make sense, but unless they're saying that Langston is supposed to be Jesus, right? His mom is Mary.
Jesus would never
That
steal.
is, first of
Jesus never.
all, literally, Gracie's name is Mary, and Luke James' name is Joseph. So that's off the table. That's off the table. I
I'm just
just,
trying to I'm just trying to get in their minds and think, why did we do this? Like,
A valiant
I'm
effort.
so.
thank you.
If anything, this has made me want to read the actual play by Langston Hughes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, like seriously.
I feel that he probably ate down. I'm not gonna say
Unlike
what I
this.
did
Unlike this.
that in my, but did I have any other notes? Oh, I
I
did
just
say, "Come, on, you better sing, church lady," and then Jennifer Hudson came.
Um,
uh-huh.
I,
Yeah.
Oh, I wrote a
dare
third
I
time.
say, I feel like we've hit all the points.
I
I
realized
just
I wrote. I'm not gonna
I
make it
wrote
to
a
this.
few. I wrote a few, but none of them were good.
I mean, I have a note, but it relates to the next movie. So I'm gonna save that for the intermission.
Okay.
She'll bring
I
that
will
back.
say I was a little bit gagged at a certain point. The plot twist of Tyrese being the dad, honestly, I was like, oh shit, okay. Because I knew there was a twist coming, but I just wasn't
Nah,
100% sure which twist it was going to be. And that one,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, okay.
I agree.
I think once they started talking about the father, I was like, oh, that's why he keeps running into Tyrese. I was like, there's no other reason for him to keep running into this random
Right.
ass man other than for it to be something like that. Now, I do like that, in order to get close to his son, he kind of set the whole situation up to where it was controlled by him and he can let his son get his anger out. I did like that. Um,
Hmm.
Honestly, excuse me, I personally think this movie is for Black people. And it's for Black people who can relate to this story. It's for Black people who maybe grew up in as preachers' kids, as PK kids, or
Yep.
PK, and who maybe have also had children out of wedlock, have been really hurt by the church, and pushed out. Maybe the children of those people who experienced that. It's definitely not a story that doesn't exist in real life. It's definitely somebody's story. Um,
Hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with you. It's for those kids, but I'm sorry. But would they enjoy watching?
well, I mean, I think according to Google, 74% of the people like this movie. I think that the people who like this movie are the one I said Google. People who like this movie
Oh,
are
I
the
see
ones
that.
who, yeah, but the IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes are very different. The people who like this
Yeah.
movie are the ones who can see themselves in the characters. Very much for Black people, just like how what is it? The Deliverance, was that the scary movie that just came out?
Yes. I
Much
was
based on a real story, very much for Black people. Like it was very much for Black church folks. It was
yeah.
made in a way for them to digest rather than telling the actual story.
I literally was thinking earlier that the deliverance crowd is also the Black nativity crowd. Religious Black folks, probably 40 plus, generally speaking. But hey,
Yeah, I think plus would hit like Jennifer Hudson's character and then up. I don't think like kids, what's his name, Jacob Lattimore's age would probably care that much about this. This is strictly for adult Black people from church,
older, Gen X
um,
and up.
Yeah.
and who love and you know what's the most disappointing about this? Now, I still cannot find too much information about the Langston Hughes like play. I guess I just have to read it to see like what the hymns and stuff is. But it seemed like they had like a lot of traditional music in that, a lot of traditional African hymns and stuff. This,
Hmm. Take your time.
I'm doing it. I'm holding it.
Wait,
I'm finding it.
what are we holding?
Are you holding
I'm
space?
finding. I'm finding it. No, I was referencing a meme that y'all didn't get.
It take you that long? Take you that long to find it?
Yeah, I'm finding it. I just feel like this movie had nothing really to do with the play,
Mm.
but they have the writer of the play's name associated with it for popularity. Yeah,
I would agree.
yeah,
I would agree. I
that was
thought
hard.
it's you got through it though. You did that.
The internet's forever. So
Yeah. I just feel that I was a little bit I don't want to say bamboozled,
Mm.
but I was slightly because I thought this was going to be a Christmas movie. And it was just a movie that happens during Christmas, if that makes sense.
It makes
it,
all the
it,
sense.
yeah, it did not give me ho ho ho. It did not give me jingle bells.
Give me
Um,
own baby.
I um I was just expecting more than well, okay, no. Because even in to reference this Christmas again, it was a Christmas movie throughout, but it ended, they're in church, similar to this one.
Very
I
black.
thought very black, very black. I thought we were gonna be in church and, you know, we're we're seeing the Christmas part of it. The sermon was there. The sermon was there. The nativity was not. The nativity was in a dream in I guess it was supposed to be like he was back in Baltimore. I don't know, but it didn't work for me. There was very little Christmas music in this. It gave trauma. And I get it. Like, that's the backstory is low key just trauma. But I thought it was gonna perk up a little bit and it never did. It never did. And then we
Mm.
rushed to the end. And there was a weird title screen. So and then we played Stevie Wonder. So
Yeah, let's talk about that. I don't understand why it's giving Blair Witch Project font. Like, what's happening here? Like,
what?
it's giving movie. It's giving wrong holiday. Like,
Mm.
There was no color. There was no. It was just like this weird like thing.
I want to.
it looked like a horror movie like title card, and then they go into okay, Forrest Whitaker's back on the screen. The choir is singing Stevie Wonder, and we are walking out of the church. Where are we going? I don't know.
I wanted so badly for this movie to be good. I did.
Yeah. Honestly,
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Just to be a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie and I have seen it.
And
So true. So true.
So
honestly, I feel lied to. I feel lied to. Um, if this is what we have to do to keep our black card, fine,
and damn it, they'll do it.
fine. If this is why we have this podcast, we gotta watch things that maybe people ain't ever even seen. Fine. We just thought, and here's the thing. I thought it was gonna be a fun time. A lot of great musicians in it. I thought it was gonna be like you said, like a modern day Black Nativity.
Twas not.
No,
No.
no,
Well, unless y'all have anything else to add,
no.
let's just we know what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Is this gonna be our
What
shortest episode?
No, actually, we have 3 minutes.
Look at us bitching for 53 minutes.
Like it was all complaining.
Oh, completely.
All complaining, me gushing over Luke James and defending Angela
Like
Bassett.
for an hour straight.
An hour straight. There was very little. I'm so sorry, Jennifer.
Like really, we love
I
you.
wanted to. We love you
And
down.
that's what's so bad about it. I feel like her acting talents were kind of wasted, to be honest.
They were.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people were in here specifically for specific types of roles. And I mean,
It's like they said, go in there, sing. Go in there, act. And
And also on that note, it really didn't seem like, like in musicals, I'm gonna just use Wicked for example because it's just been in my
yeah,
head.
yeah.
So you can always tell when the actor is singing and acting through the singing at the same time. And I feel like that comes down to direction. Jennifer Hudson, sorry if you were sis, but it really didn't seem like you were getting a lot of direction as far as like the acting is concerned during the song. Like it
Yeah.
just seemed like what Denny go in there, you're gonna sing. You're not gonna sing and act. Like it really just fell short.
yeah.
Like and we all know Jennifer can fucking act. Like the lady
Mhm.
has an Oscar. So I don't It was just it seemed like a very much contractual obligation type of
Mhm.
role.
It
They said,
was
you make
very
this
like we're
much,
gonna
you're gonna
skip
be on
marks,
stage.
we're gonna skip marks, we're gonna skip lights, we just gonna run the camera
In
and
there.
feel emotion. And
Yep.
I just I so hate that she was singing next to that bus like that. I hate it
But that was
so
crazy.
much. Oh,
That
I hate it so
choice.
much. They
It
missed
was a
such a
choice.
big opportunity for her to actually like. I hate it so.
You didn't like the
I
hand
just
on
feel
the
like
window.
if you gonna have people sing, God damn it, if you gonna have people sing and actually like do a play, I just there's so many good examples of singing and acting, and why, like why was this not one of them? It makes me
So
upset
bad.
because you have all these amazing actors. I mean,
Yeah.
even Jennifer
Wasted.
Hudson, what's her name? Even Angela Bassett. Like again, that scene could have been very like church lady. Don't all gotta be on cue. It don't all gotta be perfect. But it's
Mm-mm.
like, bro, I'm watching a music video right now. I'm watching an hour 30 music video.
It's just and you know what? As we're talking about this, I'm literally adjusting my letterboxd review as we are speaking.
Well, on that note,
This is
what
just
are our ratings for this movie? What did y'all go ahead? Go ahead.
I don't even know now because now I'm mad.
I'm so
Now,
mad. I'm literally rewriting my review and everything. Girl,
now I'm
F this.
upset. The more I'm thinking about it,
You want me to go first?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna give this movie a rating of 1.5 out of 5 hot cones
Mhm.
because I was thoroughly disappointed. There was so much potential. You had so much talent in this movie, and I personally feel like it was wasted. I feel like the movie was very rushed. Certain scenes did not need to be in it, and honestly, certain people didn't need to be in it. As much as I love them, I'm not even gonna name the names, but certain people did not need to be in this movie. So I just feel like I kind of wasted an hour and 33 minutes, but at least I heard the church rendition of Stevie Wonder's ass. So it's gonna be a 1.5. Yeah.
That's very real. I will say I just changed my letterboxd review from 2 to 1.5. Because and that's gonna be my rating. 1.5 hot comes out of 5. The one I okay, there are 3 half stars here that were given, one for Angela, 2 half for Jacob. And the last half is gonna be for that one moment where Tyrese hit his little falsetto. And I was like, okay, sure.
Not the falsetto.
So I agree with everything you said. I feel like, it was a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Mhm.
And, Cassie, I honestly was never 100% sure how to pronounce her name, the director's name. Cassie Lemons or Cassie Lemons. You have better movies. And that's all I'm gonna say. This is not a slight to you,
Mhm.
but we know what you can do. And this was not it. So I rest.
Mhm.
Oh wow, we watched multiple movies by this director. I've watched multiple movies by this director.
Yes, Harriet, Eve's Bayou. I want to dance with somebody. Self-made. Top.
Harriet.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Cosby. Okay. Brie, what's your rating?
I feel like this is what happens when you accept producer money and they don't know anything about how to create a movie. This feels like someone who always wanted to make a musical and just made it. They've never had any experience making a musical. They've never had any experience making an adaptation of anything. I'm gonna give it a 2. And I'm gonna tell you what each half star is for. Half star for Luke James. He honestly could have a whole star if he would like, but that would take up 2 spots. So half star for Luke James, half star for Angela Bassett, half star for Forrest Whitaker because he ate down, and half star for the parts of the movie that was not a song. I think if you take out, if you take out almost all of the songs in the movie,
all of them,
including the dream sequences, this would be a great short movie. Okay, this could be entered into something. This would have been a cute little 20-minute movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what the extra half star is I'm giving it for. Forrest Whitaker, Luke James. And I mean, I don't know, you can add Luke and Jacob in the same half star. I don't have any particular like upsetness with him or Jennifer. But Angela definitely getting her own half. Forrest Whitaker definitely getting his own half. And the parts of the movie that was actually written dialogue that had nothing to do with singing is getting its own half. Everybody else can go into the other half of it to make it 2. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It started to have to go down after that.
Yeah. Well, y'all, this has been it. This has been an episode that it has of the box office here on the Hot Combs and Popcorn podcast. Thank you all for listening. Yet again, my name is Danielle.
My name is Brianna.
I'm Bobby.
Don't look so sad, Bree. It's the holiday season.
Fix your hat.
This is wrong. This ain't no Christmas movie. This ain't got nothing to do with Nativity. I'm over it.
Not at all. So, yeah, well, if you haven't done so, follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, what I got, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter. I think I got everything.
I forgot about Blue Sky. Yeah. Get us
throw us a like, share the episode, leave a comment below. Did you watch this movie? Did you like it? Did you feel like you got screamed at? And did it put you in the holiday season? Holiday movie.
And did you know this movie even existed?
Right.
Did we really need to watch this movie to keep our black card?
Mm-hmm. Or did you find it in the Walmart bin? Let us know. But as y'all know, them streetlights, they probably on at this point. So we gotta go. We see y'all in the same time, same place. Bye, y'all.